All right, welcome into Prop 5 on the Five Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick on the Five Reasons Sports. I got Sean Rochester. You can follow him at S Rochester NBA. Make sure you sign up for Prize Picks using the code 5 FIVE. Put down $5. You get $50 to play right away. Big NFL and NBA day today. The Heat play at 7 o'clock today. Of course, no Jimmy Butler. So we'll be taking a look at some of those other plays later in the day. But let's get to some NFL, Sean. Before we get to the Dolphin game, which is at 4 o'clock, I'll just give you my favorite play today of the popular ones on the board at Prize Picks. Jaden Daniels over 1.5 passing touchdowns in Atlanta today. Washington needs the game. Jaden's been over this. I think it's 5 of the last 6. He's thrown at least 2 touchdown passes. Generally, his volume of passing attempts has been going up lately, so I kind of like the way that that's looking already. In addition, so I'm going to play Jaden Daniels over the 1.5 touchdowns here. Let me go through some of the other and my favorite player on the Dolphin game today is Devon Achane receiving yards, 29.5. Looks like Tyler Huntley is going to be the starter today. He's going to lean on the running back for sure, and so I think Devon gets over the 29.5. Let me go through some of these for you, Sean. Tell me how you would play these. This one's starting soon. Saquon Barkley over 114.5 rush yards against Dallas.
Well, I can tell you it's about 65, 70 degrees outside right now in Philadelphia. So if he likes to run in the warm weather, it's definitely a beautiful day outside. The other thing to keep in mind is it sounds like they're going to shut him down should they win today. They would basically be playing for nothing, even though next week is against the Giants. He's trying to obviously chase down that Dickerson record. He needs a big day to do that and then needs some persuasion to get active next week. He's not going to break it this week. He needs like 240, 260 yards, something like that. I guess he could in theory. I guess the Cowboys suck. But I would go over that. But I would be cautious that if the Eagles can get up, they may shut him down and go to Gainwell. But, Jalen Hurts isn't out there. So it's probably a game where it's going to be kind of nip and tuck.
Another one here today. Colts need this game. They're playing the Giants. Jonathan Taylor, 98.5 rushing yards. 218, 107, 96 last 3.
Giants are terrible. Again, a game script. If they're going to get up, you're going to lean into the running back. The Colts obviously are kind of in a similar situation to the Dolphins where they need to get a win. The Giants should be a team you can get a win against. I had Singletary in that game against on the other side rushing yards over. But yeah, I would say that's a good bet.
Josh Allen, 218.5 against the Jets.
I don't have anything on the passing yards, but I think it's one of those MVP type days for him. I have him on an anytime touchdown. I have him in a little sprinkle parlay with over 1.5 passing touchdowns and 2+ rushing touchdowns. He's done that like 2 out of the past 4 weeks, which is insane. He's unreal.
Yeah. All right, let's pivot a little bit to some of the afternoon stuff, the later afternoon stuff. The Dolphins game today. Again, we're not expecting Tua to play. It's not definite yet, but he has been ruled as doubtful. I haven't seen it pop in as definite. Of course, they need this game. They got a little bit of help yesterday with the Bengals win, but they do need to win out. I'm surprised, honestly, that Tua is not going to be available, but it doesn't appear that he is. I'm looking right now at some of the props here for Tyreek Hill. I can't believe we're at this stage. 41.5 receiving yards.
I bet earlier in the week. I bet it earlier in the week at 38.5 on the over.
Wow.
Crazy.
And that was before Tua was ruled out. So that's telling you something. I'm surprised the number hasn't gone down. What do we think here? I mean, 29, 36 the last 2. Of course, he's only had 200 yards receiving games the entire season. Both were with Tua.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's at that low number because of the quarterback question with Huntley. Like I said, I have the over on 38.5. I think 3 yards, you still play that. And I think he gets in the end zone today. I think that the Dolphins are going to have to just scheme ways to get the ball, to your point about Achane, and then also with Tyreek Hill. I think that and then the defense, like if you're looking the other side of the ball, I have a ladder with the Browns team total unders, under 16.5, under 10.5, under 7.5, under 6.5. Like I think the defense shows up today in not so cold weather game as you would have expected to be playing in December in Cleveland.
Let me look at the Tyler Huntley prop here, because God, they really did not throw the ball very much. We're very, very far down the field the last time that he was available. So let me take a look at where we're at. The 202 pass and rush yards combined, 159 and a half pass yards. And again, I'm looking at Huntley's the 5 games he's played. Well, the 3 games he played, he was at 87, 194, and 96. Here's my thing on this. This hasn't, unless I don't think they've known for a while that Tua is going to be out. Like this kind of popped onto the report late in the week. I don't know that they've had the prep time with Huntley to scheme much for him. They are going to leave. I would play him under.
Yeah, I mean, look, if your odds are, I think he's not going to be having an explosive day, but I think they have to come up with ways to produce enough offense because you have to win this game. And I think that's why I think it benefits Hill and Devon Achane because they can do those short yardage things. Jonnu Smith would be another one, short yardage stuff. Not going to be trying to push the ball down the field too much.
All right, and one more here. Let's go to the other side of the equation here, the Browns. So let's take a look at what they have here on the board as I pull this up. Browns today. Okay, Dorian Thompson Robinson appears to be the starter today. This is going to be a classic. 157 and a half passing yards, 16 completions, 30 and a half rush yards. I kind of don't hate that. I can see the Dolphins linebacker play has been okay, hasn't been great. I can see him getting off here a little bit. And then again on some of the receiving, or do you know what? One play I do like is Dustin Hopkins over field goals today. 5.5 kicking points. I feel like that's a safe bet, particularly with the weather not being that much of a factor. They don't have a lot at the skill positions. I guess Jerome Ford here, 53 and a half rush yards. Is there anything on the Browns side that is appealing? Jerry Jeudy at 44 and a half. Of course, he was acquired this year. No, we're shaking our head. Don't like any of it.
I don't know if this is a game to watch. I don't know if this is a game to bet. Unless you like unders. I just think it's a stinky game.
Well, unfortunately, I have to. All right, so you know what? Let's give the people what they want. Let's do a heat play here. 7 o'clock game today. Okay, let me give you these. Which of these do you like the best? Bam, 17 and a half points or 9.5 rebounds. Of course, no Jimmy today. Duncan, you're a Duncan guy. We got him at, what is he at here? Duncan is they don't have his points on the board. Well, they do have. Oh yeah, they do. 12 points on Duncan. I made the mistake of playing Rozier's attempts over yesterday, but he was so bad that he couldn't even get in the game at the end. So I thought he was going to be chucking. Jaquez at 12 points. I'm looking at here. They got Jovic at 5.5. Kind of feel like he'll get a little bit of a bigger role today if the ankle is feeling okay. Rozier at 11.5. Tyler, the only one that seems to matter lately, 23 and a half. Of course, he hadn't gone over that in 3 straight. He just did in the loss to Atlanta. Anything strike your attention here against a very good Houston team?
I got a bet on Bam on over 16 and a half points this morning. So that's the only thing I have so far in the NBA with the Heat. Obviously, later tip off tonight. So there's time to put some more plays in for that.
And now on Prize Picks, that's gone up to 17 and a half. So that is so you actually got a decent number. And on the Rocket side here, Sengun at 20 and a half, 10 and a half rebounds. Dylan Brooks, 12 and a half points. Van Vliet, 17 and a half points. He's been over that 3 straight. I kind of feel like that's a play tonight against the Heat's perimeter defense. He's also had some games against the Heat historically. Jabari Smith, who I would love to get back in a Jimmy trade if that was actually happening. 12 and a half points tonight. Anything you'd play on the Houston side? And Jalen Green at Jalen's at what? I'm sorry. 18 and a half points.
Sengun, like points, rebounds, and assists. I don't know if that's out there yet. That would be something.
It is.
Just because you've seen recent weeks, with Bam or just the front line in general, like giving up points and rebounds to big guys, and then Sengun is sort of a hub where he gets assists too. So I would consider that there, but
37 and a half though. That's a big number. 37 and a half. That's a Jokic light number. Last 5, 51 against Minnesota, 30, 28, 32, and 39. So
all over the place. Yeah, I don't know what his assist numbers are. Like if you drop that off, if they're factoring
5.5 assist number is the straight number for today's game. He only had 1 against Minnesota, but he dominated with scoring, so didn't seem to matter. 20 and a half scoring. He had 38 against Minnesota. I don't think they'll let him get off for that. But my concern is that they keep switching everything or in the zone, and so Bam's not in position basically, and that's how these guys are getting easy baskets. I would probably play the points over at 20.5. That 37.5 seems a little rich to me on the
Yeah, it is very high.
on the points, rebounds, and assists. So that's kind of where it's at. All right, use the code 5 here today. Again, lots to play on the board. So get those plays in. Get the $50. We can't guarantee in the new year if they're still gonna have that same promotion. So get in now. Put down the 5, get it for 50. Also, if you guys want to, we still got time to get in the Better Edge contest. Right now, actually, I'm gonna put my picks in real quick here. That's a winner take all. Still enough games on the board. There's got to be 5 games on the board. So get on there now before the 1:00 games if you want to have more options to play. All right. Thanks to Sean. Again, use the code 5, FIVE.